Remember when common sense was common? When standing up for what is right was the right thing to do? Welcome to The Right Side. Common sense conversations about Hawaii's political landscape and how it affects you, your ohana, and your community. Join us for the next hour as we cut through the political noise and look at Hawaii from the right side, where public officials and community leaders discuss the policies that affect our future, strategies that move the needle, and highlight leaders that are stepping up to make a difference. Get ready for The Right Side, a common sense conversation.
All right, welcome to the show, 808-913-6450. I'm Augie, and we're representing the city. So, on Tuesdays and Thursdays and Fridays, we have representatives from the state and, Senate and the House. And then on Wednesdays and Mondays, we talk a little bit about the city. So we have a light show today. Well, not really light. If you love entertainment, then you're going to love not only she's entertaining, but we'll talk a lot about what the enterprise services is doing for the city. And, it's kind of, because next week, what are we talking about next week?
We're talking about some really serious things in terms of protecting your children against online sex predators. And we got a request from the prosecutor's office and the police department to come in here and to talk about it, to help educate people about how to watch out for their children. That's good.
And by the way, we are live. So a lot of times, I know a lot of the shows are from the mainland, and you can't call in. You can call in. We are live. In fact, if you call in right now, I'll give you something, a hug.
A hug?
A hug.
How are you going to do that?
We'll find a way. We live on an island, You remember me? I called in. Okay, here's your hug.
Is that like a normal prize that you
can
give away on the radio?
No,
I mean,
I
just
know.
asking.
Yeah, we'd be kind of cool if we did maybe give away prize. Maybe people would call at 808-913-6450. All right, so if you're in the entertainment business, or you like to be entertained, or if you play golf, oh boy, or the Honolulu Zoo, this is the show you don't want to miss. The City's Department of Enterprise Services oversees some of Honolulu's most fun activities, and today we have with us head of that department, and I'll let Malia introduce our special guest.
Well, everybody should know her because she used to work here.
That's right. She was my boss.
She was your boss. Right on.
And producer Leah's boss, right? Producer Leah? She's giving me the thumb up. All right.
And she's also one of the most fun people in town.
Absolutely.
So I'm sure everybody knows her, but her name is Dita Holifield, and she's the director of the City Department of Enterprise Services, as you mentioned. The department oversees the operations at a wide range of city facilities. And you already mentioned some of them, but Neal Blaisdell, the Tom Moffatt Waikīkī Shell, the Honolulu Zoo, 6 municipal golf courses. And it also coordinates city concession contracts, which are hot contracts to get. And those include the ones along Kūhiō Beach and Waikīkī. Prior to taking over this position in 2023, Dita spent 9 years as the general manager of 7 radio stations in Hawaii, owned and operated by Salem Media Group, which, of course, we're talking about these very stations.
Yep.
She also managed her own successful live event business and is the owner of the All-American Rodeo, the state's largest rodeo show. And I have been to it, and boy, is it a fun event.
Right?
Thank you.
It's a fun event.
Yeah.
All right, Dita, welcome. This is kind of cool, right?
It is. I'm used to, well, first of all, I spent, the last 4 years before I went to the city as the morning girl, one half of the Country 97.5 morning show, Queen of Country and the Hillbilly Princess.
Yeah.
My partner, Tia Spence. So it's fun to be sitting on the other side.
Right.
Yeah.
And you brought me in to come and work for Salem, which was kind of cool. And I got to tell you, I probably like one of the few guys that worked on every single radio station in Hawaii.
That should be a Hall of Fame moment right there.
That is.
Should get a prize just for that.
But I got to tell you, this is the one station that I love working at.
Oh,
really,
thank you.
You believed in me because
I did.
Normally I would be doing the island and reggae thing. It was like, can I get transition to doing music that caters to everybody, not just one genre. And man, it's been...
You just nailed it.
Can you believe it? Like almost 3 years now?
It hasn't been 3 years?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you had just been such a big addition for Salem Media. You're a big famous name. So it was great to snag you. It was kind of feather in my cap.
You think maybe one day I can make big famous money?
You can. You just have to leave radio.
That's right. And maybe the city county.
Yeah, you got to leave both of those, and then you too can be rich.
Okay, so Dita, why did you leave radio management and event planning to head up the Department of Enterprise Services?
Well, that's a great question. I didn't leave. I got invited by Mayor Blangiardi, and he's so persistent.
Right.
No, really, like it, and it was a dream because he's a media mogul.
Yeah.
He ran TV, Telemundo. He ran Hawaii News Now. He ran, everybody. And I really desired to up my game. And I knew that if I could work for him, he was going to just kind of wind me up and let me loose. I wanted to grow. I wanted to learn. I had been in radio 17 full years, and I'd done everything. I poured out my own show. I sold advertising. I was a promotions person.
Yeah.
I just did it all. So it was time for me. I just felt like excited to try something new.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel the same way. We are not only like helping people in the city, but like, man, you get to be a part of events that, a lot of us look forward to.
Yes.
And a lot of us like wait and pray that, I hope these shows come to Hawaii, right? And you get to be a big part of that. And not only that, but you're the one department that can actually make money for the city.
I am so popular. Like, people suck up to me all the time because I'm making money for everybody. No, but in the serious note of going back to what you said is that, I've been a promoter. I've done concerts and rodeos and anything you can name, I've done it. But it's great to be on the other side. And so you're really on the service side, you're on the city side. And to sit there and see Maoli sell more tickets than Carrie Underwood did. I think he outsold her. It wasn't much. It was like, 800 seats, but 2 nights sold out.
Still kind of cool, right?
It was to see the elevation of a local person from Maui to make it big and sell out 2 arena shows. That's like 16,000 tickets.
And even the way he did the whole producing of the show.
Oh, it was spectacular.
Yeah.
It was an A+. In the round with the big Tobotron LED thing. It was just, that turns me on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of next level, out of the box.
Next level.
Yes, for, especially for local artists, right? A lot of times you walk into clubs and you see a local artist with his shades in the club, dark, wearing the same shorts that he was wearing earlier, at the beach. But then, and you go, dude, if you get to the next level, that's it right there.
So on the city side, we do a lot to support that happening that a lot of people don't know about. So that really makes me happy. Graduations make me happy.
Awesome.
We have opened up the doors for graduation season last year, and we tried even more to get, whether it's college or high school or public schools or small Christian schools, we opened our doors to service because graduation is the thing and people love it and their families are so into it. It's like, I need about 500 Motrin per day to get through graduation season.
I think we're the only state, how on the mainland, what college did you graduate from? In Hawaii, it's like, what high school you went?
What school you went?
That's right.
But it just feels fabulous. What a great job I have to see the families line up, all dressed up, their leis and their balloons, and they're there to see the cap and gown walk across the platform.
That's
awesome.
where I graduated. That's where my son graduated.
Oh, look
See,
at that.
it's a memory of a lifetime.
Yeah, I think my hair graduated in the concert hall for Sacred Hearts.
Oh, yay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, 808-913-6450. If you got a question for Director of Enterprise Services, Dita Holifield. You got a question, Malia?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, I have a lot of questions for
Yeah,
her.
of
Like,
course.
how is it that she's so awesome? But no.
This is paid for by the city.
Yeah,
of
this is paid for the city and County of Honolulu.
No, Enterprise Services.
Right. No, it just seems like you have a lot to juggle with all these responsibilities. And you also, like you said, you have a lot of people asking you for things. How is it that are there other things that you're open to in terms of, like, say somebody has an idea for the city to make money? Are they allowed to come to you, or what? What is that process? Because I know I've had small business people say, "Hey, I would love to have the city partner with the city on something." And is that even a process that can happen, like that public interaction?
Well, thank you for asking that question too, because I noticed when I started, everybody wanted to talk to me because I have a diverse, background in marketing and events and singing and all this stuff. So I said, I'm going to meet with everybody. And my team was like, no, you can't because you have to meet with everybody or nobody. I go, no, I'm really going to meet with everybody. And the first 2 years, anybody that wanted to meet me, I met with them. I talked to everybody. I made sure that I could teach people and mentor them on because everybody comes in with their dreams and you don't want to shatter them.
Of course.
But I also want to be a yes person too. And so I got a lot out of learning about what people want and need for their communities. And I try to do that.
All right, hold on to the thought. When we come back, we got Richard from Ewa Beach.
Richard!
Yeah, we got a phone call. Can you believe it? I might have to give Richard a hug.
Oh, man.
And he lives in Ewa Beach, so you can meet me at Foodland, Ewa Beach at around 6:30. I'll give you a big hug, Richard. But stay right there. If you want to talk to Dita Holifield, you want to ask questions about enterprise services, 808-913-6450. This is The Right Side, a common sense conversation.
Welcome back to The Right Side with Hawaii public officials and community leaders. Let's get back to Common Sense Conversations.
All right, we got Dita Holifield, Director of Enterprise Service, 808-913-6450. We got Richard from Ewa Beach on the phone line. How's it, Richard?
Hey, Augie and Dita.
Hi, Richard.
I was wondering if you know anything about renovation of the city projects like Blaisdell. Is that still going on?
Thank you for the question. I do know a little bit about all of that. So we just reopened the second phase of the 3 phases for the concert hall. So that will be, we just completed the back of the house, the LED lights, fancy curtains, and some things like that. Then we're going to close in 2 years for the second half of Mayor Blangiardi's for a year, and then that will be the final coup d'etat. It's going to be gorgeous. Like, we're going to renovate the restrooms and the carpets and the walls. So that's the concert hall. That is open again for 2 years, and then we're going to do one more phase. In terms of the arena is back open. But not only do we have a little bit of construction work we have to do with the sewers, we're going to close for 2 months, October, November, or November, December. And then we also have some roof leaking. So we haven't planned that out yet. But we are only going to close for a couple months to try to fix the sewer issues because it's 61 years old.
Yeah.
61 years old. Hard to believe.
Great question, Richard.
The main question I had was, why can't the restrooms for the women's be expanded like 2 or 3 times? Because I asked Stanford Carr for the stadium, Aloha Stadium.
That's a good idea. I am in favor of that.
Okay, so well, as a female, yes, thank you. I want twice as much room when I go to the restroom, but it's kind of has to be an inequality kind of a deal. And I know that women they take a little longer to go to the restroom and they look in the mirrors and all kinds of stuff like that. It's a lifestyle issue. But we actually did an incredible job at the arena on the women's restrooms. It has LED lights, so when you walk in, it lights up on its own, so you can look at yourself and I look fantastic. And then we reconfigured the restrooms so that it's in the round so that it could help. It didn't give more stalls, but it gave a better workflow, if you want to call it that, when you go to the restroom. So you're right. I know we need more restrooms, but unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to probably accommodate because we do have to also, be fair.
There's always a challenge. You go to the Waikīkī Shell and then always get this sister, I'm sorry, but I gotta go. Guys are always accommodating, but I get what you say, Richard.
But the restrooms are beautiful. We spent big money on the renovations at the arena for the restrooms.
All right,
so
Richard.
if you go to the arena, make sure you go and pee.
It's a great experience.
The guys are different. They don't have to sit down, to go.
Yes.
They can just stand up and go, so it's way faster.
Yeah, you're not lying about that, Richard. It's kind of always awkward if you sitting down.
Yeah.
But hey, Richard, appreciate your call, man.
Thank you, Richard.
And thank you, Richard, for being our caller. So, you know what that means, Richard? I'll meet you at 6:30 Foodland in Ewa Beach, and I'll give you a big hug. How's that?
Okay.
All right, Richard. Have a great day, man. Thank you.
Mahalo.
All right, Dita. So, you oversee golf courses, the Honolulu Zoo, city attractions, as well as the concessions. How do you manage to juggle all those responsibilities?
So that was a really a big piece of the puzzle when I started. There's 5 divisions. There's the zoo, there's the auditoriums, those building services. That's also a division, and that is all the maintenance for all the facilities. And we also help, like at Christmas, Kapolei Commons, the Honolulu Holiday Christmas. So we deploy our maintenance team, and we help other city agencies. That's the third. Then I have concessions, and then I have the zoo. It's like having 5 kids. That's how I describe it, right? So you asked about golf, so that's my sports kid.
Yeah.
Right. So each the business model that I have currently, there's a number 1 and 2 in every division. So that helps. So there's a 1 and 2 in my overall division, and then there's a 1 and 2 in all 6 divisions. So now we have 12 mighty people that can help us go and keep everything straight. It's a lot of work, and it's amazing because we're growing grass, we're taking care of people's play, we're trying to make the facilities beautiful, we're keeping the play quick and fast and easy and fun.
And I want to tell people that, using the city and county facilities, you're saving a lot of money.
Yes, it's affordable and it's friendly and it's fun. And then kids can play for free. Age 7 to 17, you can learn how to play golf this summer for free.
How's that?
That's pretty good.
That was,
Yeah.
Dita
My
came in
son was a
excited.
golfer, and it could get expensive.
She came in excited about her, the whole golf and what golf did,
I did.
last year, and how, there was a quota that you had and how you broke that quota.
I
You want to
did.
share a little bit about that?
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well, we deployed a great marketing platform. We did geofencing, we did radio, we did, TV, we did all kinds of stuff. I mean, we really elevated the play. We also took a look at the kids play free because we know the kids will bring their parents and their
course.
families. So we raised $1.7 million more than previous year. Booyah!
Yeah. And we're going to do more, right?
Yeah, of course. We're just getting started. What you talk about?
All right, 808-913-6450, 808-913-6450. If you want to speak to Dita Holifield, Director of Enterprise Services. Malia?
Sure. Well, I did want to ask you about the Honolulu Zoo. We had Linda Santos, who's the director of the zoo.
Yes.
And she was really great and gave us some highlights. But for people that might have missed the show, you also manage the zoo. So what are the benefits of like our zoo, and what makes it special? That what do you most enjoy when you go there?
Well, I think the first thing is just the location. 4 acres right underneath Diamond Head. I mean, when we got the number 4 zoo in the nation last year, according to USA Today, and we all had to vote, we put the picture of the elephant under the Diamond Head. Hello, microphone drop. Like, that is just the most spectacular place. So there's that. Second thing is, we try to keep it as indigenous as possible so that it's not, like Disneyland and there's all this, it's really like coming into, an oasis and a jungle of where the animals and their habitats really are. So I love the indigenous style of the zoo. I think that's really cool.
No, I travel a lot. I go to different zoos, but only in Hawaii you're driving, in the back roads, and then you go, is that a giraffe? Right?
You're over by the shell, and you're like, he's looking over the fence at you.
How cool is that, right? If you're a kid, or you just you haven't been to the zoo for a long time, you're like, oh, so there's a giraffe right there.
The average demographic is ages 2 to 12, and then either it's their parents or single parents or their kapuna are going to take them. So I tell everybody, where are your kids going to have a chance to see a real elephant,
right,
or a real giraffe, like you just said, or, alligators and turtles and birds and pelicans, and
right,
it's just fabulous. Komodo dragons.
Oh, see, look, and we talked about this when they were here. The last time I went to the zoo was when my hair was a little girl. And then I went back, as a city council member, the chair of parks. So I got to come, visit the zoo.
Yeah.
I think
You pet
4 times. Yeah, I got to pet the turtle.
Tortoise.
fun?
100-year-old tortoise.
Yes, right? And even Lonnie Moo lives there in
That's
the
right.
Keiki Zoo.
That's a great part of it.
It is, and they do summer camps. We do the Wildest Show on Earth, which is a music series out there. You come in, you have your picnic under the
We might have
stars.
to do crack up at the zoo.
Oh yeah, you could do. That's such a great idea. And you do your
Laugh
comedy.
under the sun, or laugh under the stars or something.
Yeah, laugh with live animals. I don't know. You come up.
Live with live animals and Augie Toba.
808-913-6450. Let's talk more golf.
Yeah, I love the golf.
I know we get like 2-3 minutes, but you manage 6 golf courses, all right? So what are the benefits of golfing at the city golf courses versus others on the island?
Okay.
And are there any outstanding features at any of these golf courses, and how popular are they?
All right. First of all, they're hugely popular. Like now, Ted Makalena, which is in your district.
Yes.
It is literally now outpacing and outperforming financially the Alawai, which has been the steady Eddie juggernaut financial win for years and years and years. So that's a very exciting. It's affordable. And then the Poly,
of course,
right in the Ko'olau Mountains. It is our country club-esque look. As you play golf there, you cannot beat it.
It's beautiful back there. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's stunning.
Yeah.
808-913-6450. Come back. We're talking with Dita Holifield, Director of Enterprise Services. It's Augie. This is the right side, a common sense conversation.
Welcome back to The Right Side with Hawaii public officials and community leaders. Let's get back to common sense conversation.
808-913-6450. It's Augie. This is the right side of common sense conversation. Dita Holifield, Director of Enterprise Services, in studio. If you got a question about, the zoo, concessions, the golf course, Waikīkī Shell, Dita's here to answer your call. So you want to, I know you want to talk more about golf courses. So
I just wanted to say that I love the municipal golf courses because there's no shame there. Like, you go out and you're playing in a tournament or you're teeing off the Y line, everyone's eating breakfast, watching you. There's nothing like that happening at the Muni. Practice at the Muni. That's my advice. Come to the Muni and practice.
It's super affordable. I like how she's doing it. She's looking at me because she knows I suck at golf. I get asked all the time, "Oh, you go?" Like, no, don't.
Who doesn't golf?
Yeah,
the mayor. He's
That's
like, I
shocking.
don't. He goes, I don't golf, but he cheers us all on.
Yes, I'll do that.
Yeah,
I'll jump on the golf course cart and I'll heckle. I might smoke a cigar, but my ADHD, I can do good.
Yeah.
Honestly, 9 holes.
And then you're done.
And then I'm done.
Yeah, no, 18
My brain
is much.
It's just the
you
focus.
Moved on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's the focus. It's hard. I don't bowl. I don't do fishing. It's just sitting there.
Fishing?
I can't do it.
At least bowling is faster. Let's go back to golf, though.
Even bowling, I lose my mind.
Oh, got it.
I get guys who put their hand over the air. I'm like, hey, come on.
Well, I'm going to segue good for us.
Okay.
All right. So the driving range at the Alawai is closed.
Okay.
And it's a concession. So we can merge those two divisions together in this conversation.
All right.
So it's closed because we really struggled with the conditions from the previous partnership.
Okay.
So we've closed. We are watering. We have new grass seeds. We are loving it. We're singing to it. It's just we are going to make it beautiful there.
That is awesome.
And then we're going to open it up to a new concessionaire. So the way that works, we post it. And then if you think that you have a great hot dog cart or you're a surfboard person or you're a parking lot person or you can do a driving range, you too can have a chance to bid in the bidding process.
Okay, let's talk about concessions. Yes, let's talk about concessions because I think, as the chair of our new our committee, right?
Yes.
That's one of the biggest things that's
Yeah.
asked about concession.
Because you're supposed to figure out how to make money, right?
Correct.
In your committee.
Yes.
Okay.
With film and technology and,
Right.
of course,
Yes.
enterprise services. So
Yes.
give us a status on concessions.
All right. So the concession program is a bidded. There's several ways to win the concession.
Okay.
One is through a lottery process. One is through a bidding process, and it's highest bid. But you really got to know how to run your business. If you're going to say, you're shooting, you want to get it, you've got 3 people, you're bidding against them, you still need to know how to make that money, make it a profitable business, okay? So there's that. And then there is also sometimes there are opportunities where the director, me, or a selection committee would choose in a particular situation. So there's all different ways to become a concessionaire with the city, but there are a lot of very successful concession business models. Food and beverage is always really easy to make a lot of money. You know, we've got L&L at the Alawai.
Yeah.
I'm excited to announce this is groundbreaking
let's go.
information at Eva Villages.
Yes.
There's a brand new, it's called the Fairway Taverns, and it's opening in August. And so it's a food and beverage, adult beverages.
Okay.
So it's going to be fabulous, really beautiful out there. And then we have parking lot opportunities. You know, we have at the zoo has parking, at the Blaisdell Arena has parking concessions. So there's a lot of different business models if you are interested.
Yeah, I know. We're working really hard in trying to, find ways to expedite a lot of these concessions so that, the city can find other ways of making money. Speaking of making money, the council is considering Bill 4.
Yes, I was there today. I was watching and listening.
And, which I really love and support only because, there's challenges in a lot of the things that we have to take care of in the city, like in parks, right? In different, and this is just another way, before sponsorship.
Yes.
An opportunity for one day, where, you might be able to, sponsor a park.
Maybe. I know.
Maybe Waikīkī Shell.
I'm really appreciative to Councilmember Cordero for really putting this forward for us.
Yeah.
And, you sell sponsorships. I've been involved in sponsorship sales, ad sales for many, many years. And so I'm excited about what is the possibility, what the revenue generation, and then that we can turn that back into fixing our sewers underneath the aging Blaisdell Arena. And, the bigger cities, I've researched a lot of the cities that are our size. We're number 68 in the nation. It's according to 1.2 million people and demographics, all these different reasons. But we definitely can make some money and put it back in with
because if you go to big cities, big cities and you see it all over the place, and it's okay.
Yeah, because
the fields, and some of the areas like amazingly beautiful because one, there's a like when I look at my parks and I look at somebody like Safeway and Foodland that want to invest in our community, right?
Yes.
And look at our city parks and go, wow, this is something that I could see, our children enjoying and, being maintained, where the parks, being supplied with things. And, it's always helpful. We're always finding ways, to make this a win-win situation, like you're saying, Aaron.
And there's a lot of businesses that want to sow back into the communities. And there's also individuals with just naming rights. So Blaisdell is Neal S. Blaisdell. He was the mayor of Honolulu in the 50s. And now we just call it the Blaisdell. Can you imagine if we called it Toba? Hey, let's meet at the Toba.
Right.
Or the Blangiardi. Let's go to the Blangiardi. But it's amazing to know how much of that became a fabric of our community with him putting his naming rights on there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 808-913-6450. If you got a question for Dita Holifield, Director of Enterprise Services. Historically, Waikiki is known for surfing and canoe paddling. Your department oversees the Beach Boy concessions at the beach. What opportunities do these concessions offer Kama'aina and visitors who want to surf or paddle?
Well, I think we provide a giant service. It's great because, especially in the Beach Boy lifestyle, it's about the stories and the culture. We're expanding our services. We're going to be having storytelling and music and song and ukulele lessons, and then Kilahana, which is the hula show with the Council of Native Hawaiian Advancement. They moved from the amphitheater at the Tom Moffatt Waikīkī Shell, and now they're at the Hula Mountain. So we're bringing back the true culture and the spirit of aloha back to Kūhiō Beach.
Yeah, and I think that's what people, fall in love with.
I know.
Yeah,
that's what they think of Hawaii.
Correct.
Yes.
Right?
They love the scenery, but understanding the culture and the beautiful people that live here.
Yeah, and the canoe races
Correct.
and the paddling.
No, that's why I'm excited about Waipahu. Can I tell you?
Yes.
The Waipahu Plantation Village.
I don't know. Tell me.
Well, it's overseen by the Department of Enterprise Services.
Wait. Is that another division I didn't know I had?
No, it's just a beautiful place where people can learn about, not only the Hawaiian culture, but like, Filipinos, Japanese,
Yes.
Koreans, all the people that, like we're the backbone of really moving our cities, through plantation. So I know we're going to have an excursion day.
I'm looking forward to it.
Man, I look at that place and I go, man, are we losing out and like telling a story?
Yes, and especially out there, it's underserved in opportunities. People have to drive all the way to Waikīkī or even to our concerts. We want to fulfill your community's dreams and make sure we're there for them.
Yeah, get it activated so that, we can do amazing things. 808-913-6450. I look at Mali. Do you have a question? I see you.
Well, I was just speaking of the concessions for surfing and paddling and everything. I know it's like super competitive to get one of those. Everybody wants one, and it's always been a cash business. And I don't know how that works now, but
it's not cash.
Not anymore. Not anymore. For a good reason, probably. But having covered that story many times in the news over the years, I was just curious, like, how is it now? Is it super competitive to get the business, and everybody wants it? And how often does that come up so people can bid?
It's all sequenced, so every contract, every opportunity is on its own timeline. But one of the things that we are trying to do is to offer it to a 5 to a 10 year in length of the contract. Because what happens, you need that. If you're a small business, you need 5 to 10 years to really make a profit and really be able for us to upgrade our services and the quality of concessionaires that we have. So we have some that are just on a year to year, but we're trying to get out of that. That's one of our big ideas that we have, and we're trying to get to 5 and 10 year opportunities. And then again, it's just about you can get on a concessionaire list and you can get information about as these opportunities come forward.
Yeah, because it seems like if you were going to invest in your business, you have to buy surfboards and all this equipment.
Of course.
And if you're just done in a year, you might not be able to make it back enough to pay your people and all those things.
Agreed, 100%.
That makes smart.
Yeah, we're trying to change the business model.
808-913-6450. When we come back, can you believe it? We'll be wrapping up already.
I can't even believe it. It's been so much fun.
So we'll talk, about things that maybe people don't know about your department.
Okay.
Right? And your final thoughts.
Thank you.
This is the right side of Common Sense Conversation. Again, if you want to talk to Dita Holifield, Director of Enterprise Service, 808-913-6450.
Welcome back to The Right Side with Hawaii public officials and community leaders. Let's get back to Common Sense Conversation.
Can you believe we've been rocking and rolling? And almost, it's time is almost up. We got final thoughts and, ways that, people can be a part of enterprise services.
Yeah, thank you. We are always recruiting for great people.
Okay.
Now, we've done really well with golf. Golf is pretty full right now. There still are some vacancies, but definitely building services. Like, it's such a great place to work. Like, we've got, maintenance, we've got, booking, you get event coordinators, and then the zoo, you're outdoors and you're with animals. And we even have jobs where you welcome people in and, it's like Disneyland. So we have a lot of really great jobs available.
So what are some other things or facts that people might not know about your department or some of the attractions your department oversees? I know we talked about a lot, but maybe something that because we do this thing called Get to Know Your City.
Yes.
Because one of the things that we wanted to learn in our office is what everybody does. And I always ask, what is one thing maybe you would like to share to the public?
Oh, yeah, I've got some stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a surprise to me. So the first, dear Mayor, you would have filled me in with ... No. So one of the things is Dita, when let's say Bruno Mars comes to Hawaii,
okay,
everybody is calling me, oh my God, give me tickets.
Yes.
So I, myself as director, nor does our department own any of the ticket availabilities. We have no tickets. That's Ticketmaster and the promoter.
That's right.
So the promoter comes in, like Rick Bartolini comes in. He owns all of the tickets. If I go, I have to buy my own ticket. Shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's good.
Yeah.
Because we'll be following every rule that ethics expects us to be
and
following,
I
right?
hope Jan from ethics is listening.
I was just going to say that.
So that was a shakarusko. Same thing, like I don't get free I don't get to play golf for free. I don't get to go see the elephants for free. Like even the workers, we have to pay to go. So I really love the fact how the integrity level is so high. So that's something that was shocking to my friends.
Yeah, no, that's the reason why I play a disclaimer before my radio show, and I play a disclaimer before I walk on stage, because people got to understand that, we wear a lot of hats.
Yes.
And we thought that we was going to bring our beautiful talents to the city, but then that's not how it works, which is okay, because, it makes everything transparent and open, and people need to know, like, we're just everyday people that really want to make the city work and do our best to stay ethically correct.
Yes. And along those same lines is that, Augie, if you wanted to rent, or you wanted to, because you're city council,
right,
or even mayor, you guys would like to use the Peacocky room and the X Hall, you have to pay for it. You can't get a discount. You can't get a sponsorship. You can't get anything like that. You have to rent it, and you rent it off a menu, and you're just like anybody else. I love it. I love it.
It's okay because it's super affordable. It's the city and county of Honolulu.
It's
Come on.
$67.
808-913-6450. We're just, minutes away from wrapping up. But you're known for the popular rodeo that you hold annually at, Wamanalo. Will you be holding one again this year?
So we're working on the October date. The owners of the rodeo grounds is G Rocker in Waimanalo. They're in their 80s. And so it's, and they're the original. His dad was one of the first rodeo holders in the state. So they're legendary in the space. And so, they're compromised a little bit with their health. We're trying to work on it. If I can't get it done in Nalo, and I know the Nalo people will be so brokenhearted, I want to do one more, I promise. But I will go to the Blaisdell.
Wow.
Yeah, I said it here.
That's awesome.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Because I remember it being held at the Blaisdell one time.
In 1963 was the first rodeo in Hawaii, and it was at the Blaisdell.
How cool would that be, right?
Right?
Really fun. Yep.
Enclosed.
I know. Well, I mean, the Las Vegas rodeo, Houston, most of the rodeos now are indoor.
So, I'm going to one in August.
Where are you going?
I'm going to go to a rodeo in August in Vegas.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I can't wait.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Ever since Yellowstone, I think deep down inside, I'm a cowboy.
You're a
Filipino. I'm a Filipino Portuguese cowboy.
You are.
Do not get on any horses or any bulls.
I was going to say,
or wave anything in front of a bull.
Yeah.
Please.
Dita, you got so many talents. In fact, you're also a singer and performer.
I am.
So, any concerts coming up?
It's funny. So, I just finished Boots and Beers at the Bishop Museum, sold out, 5,400 people. That was so much fun. But I'm going to be at 604. I'm doing like a small.
Check you out.
I am. I'm doing.
Which one? The one, Mililani?
No, I'm doing the one by the Navy base.
Okay.
In Pearl.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so that's going to be next Friday, a week from Friday.
Here's my big question. You ready?
Giddy on up.
Tell me some of the upcoming shows.
I can't.
Local people.
Augie. Yeah, okay, that was one of the. Yeah, that's another one of the surprises. I'm not allowed to tell by contract who's coming in that's not ticketed yet.
Oh, man.
Okay, we thought we were going to get the scoop.
I know, right?
People try to pay me. They give me like favors to tell them who's coming. It's so bad.
Right.
I will not do it.
Even when the film people say, you remember how we tried to get them? Come on. What's coming? What's coming?
Yeah, I cannot. I will say ticketed already though. By Ole, he's gonna do. I'm sure he's gonna do 2 sold out shows. We've got some.
Right on, Glenn.
Tamua.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in December. He had a great show last year. So just some of the big time artists that are making it big from Hawaii.
All right, 808-913. Well, I'm not gonna give the number because I'm gonna let Dita tell us her final thoughts.
Okay.
And then we're gonna remind everybody that next week we're going deep, right?
Going deep on some important topics you don't want to miss.
Okay. Okay.
Well, I'm
your
glad it
final
could
thoughts?
be the light side of the right side today. So you guys can saunter in next week. I think the thing that I really want to say, what an honor it is to seriously serve the community such a grand way when we have, the kids at the zoo and the animals and taking care of, 800 animals is a very serious responsibility. And then I feel the same way about the Aina and the golf community and giving a chance. It's not a king sport any longer because the municipal golf courses give free golf to kids. It makes me cry. It just really makes me so happy. And then, of course, my baby is entertainment. And we just had Broadway. We just had Tina Turner, the musical, at the concert hall. And that's how we reopened the concert hall. And to see the faces and the joy, to see some people will never go to Broadway in New York. This is it, and I get to be a part of it.
Well, let's go. We got 3 years and 6 months. I want to remind you,
we're on the countdown already.
I got a calendar in my house. I'm marking it up. What an amazing, for me, 2 terms as a city councilman. And,
congratulations. And thank you for your service.
Oh, no, thank you for your service.
It's a sacrifice, really. Thank you.
But it's so, I'm so thankful and grateful that, we get to do something that's so cool, right? Not only entertain people, like actually serving people.
Yeah, it's a legacy. It's way more important than singing.
Huge.
Yes.
Huge. Well, Dita, thank you so much for hanging out with me today.
Yes.
And Malia, thank you so much for all the prep and getting things ready. So next week we're talking...
just how to protect your children, your grandchildren, and even yourself from online predators.
Okay, I'm going to let you guys know. We are live.
Live.
Okay, we are live. You can call right now. We are live. So next Wednesday, we're live. We want to hear from you. We want to take those calls.
Yeah.
Until then, I'm Augie. That's Malia. That's Dita. Thank you so much for listening to The Right Side of Common Sense Conversation. We will see you next Wednesday.